Hey guys, if you're looking to escape from the dreary situation in the UK, fully understand. Really. I'm overseas and I'm watching it from afar and it's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Hats off to these guys who are going over to France and doing something positive. I really wish you guys all the best. I was trying to find out if we could donate. I looked on the website. I think it's Raise the Flags. Good luck to you guys. You're bloody heroes. You really are. And I see there's a bunch of guys in Bournemouth, in Dorset, on the south coast, who have got a group of about 50 guys, apparently. And it looks like they're patrolling the streets. They're not tooled up and they're not masked up. They're just, good, healthy young men going out there protecting the women and children. I used to live on the south coast, and Bournemouth was the place to hang out. It was where you went for your nights out and your meals and your movies and nightclubs, and you could park your car pretty much any time, anywhere, and it would be left alone most of the time. What has happened to society is disgusting. I think that our government actually is guilty of aiding and abetting. If that makes any sense at all, please tell me, because I think I'm using the right terminology. Because if you assist in crimes by way, either by default or by third party, you are aiding and abetting. And they are aiding and abetting by importing criminals into the country deliberately against the wishes of the people, against the better interests of the people, and in a way in which it is going to negatively affect the culture of the people. Now, unfortunately, the very forces that we pay for to protect us from this happening are called the police force, who are also guilty of aiding and abetting the exact same forces, and would rather sit in their car with the heater running and fill their faces with donuts rather than actually do something. Now, there are some good policemen. There are. Generally speaking, they are Gen X, if they're not in the Met, and generally speaking, the Gen Z cops are fucking useless. As for female police officers, I don't believe there should be any. Either they should be at home baking cakes and doing the laundry, or they should be sitting behind the screens doing the monitoring. Having good, fit, healthy men in the police force sitting in CCTV centres is pointless. And you need to take the cars away from the police officers. One of the reasons we've got a problem on the streets is because there's no policemen on the streets. They may be able to hurry around the city circuits in police cars quickly, but they don't know what's going on the streets. They wouldn't need fucking CCTV if they have the policemen on the streets. The days of the beat bobby have gone, and I'm not saying that we've got to turn the clocks back, but you do need some eyes and ears on the streets. You might need to walk in groups of 3. You might need to be a bit more intimidating even. There's not a bad thing for criminals to be in fear of policemen, but these little yellow bellies in their hazmat jackets wandering around asking people why they're flying drones or filming and then jailing people for hurty words is a fucking joke. And really, we should be refunded for an awful lot of the services. Ironically, we're being asked for more money at a time when it's failing. Now, you tell me one business or service you can provide where you can increase the service fee and decrease the service, in fact, remove the service, and it will still continue in business. Now, there is one business that does that, which is called the BBC, which has also failed in its promises and its policies, and still wants to charge. They have no right whatsoever to charge the British public a licence fee to own and run and operate a wireless device. Absolutely no right whatsoever. I've looked in the wireless and communications law, and it says nowhere does it say that there is any fee applied for owning such a device. And even if it is just for BBC channels, you're going to have a hell of a job to justify that, given the fact that you've got the most perverse people, the most unfortunate people on your crew, and the worst ratings out there. It's absolutely disgusting. You're an embarrassment to the British people. You've insulted the major ally we have, Mr. Donald Trump, the Don. And I really never thought I'd say this. I've always loved the British institutions, generally speaking, because I love everything British generally. But you've destroyed that good institution. It's been put in the wrong hands and it's been left to run unmonitored. And you prove that you're not capable and you're not able to run an institution like the BBC. It's in the wrong hands. If Donald Trump bankrupts it, that would be the best thing that could ever happen to it, because it could be reformed and started again with real people. This left-wing diversity nonsense has got to go. There's way too many ethnic minorities that are now ethnic majorities. And they're still fucking looking for reparations for things that we never did against any of them. So that stops. I'd love a position in politics because I'd be very happy to help. One thing I'd like to say is Ant Middleton, my friend, big tough guy, love the idea of you being a mayor, my friend, but I don't hear anything other than this endless speech about, I know about public safety, I know about public security and protection. Yes, mate, you need a bit more than that. You need a fucking plan. And I haven't heard anything, nor of anyone else, about that. You need to start planning now. 2028 is round the corner. But frankly, there'll be no mayorship in 2028 because unless something's done now, you guys are all talking about 2 or 3 or 4 years' time, the UK will be done in the next 6 months. By this summer, it's going to be game over. Islam will have won. And unless something happens soon, I'm afraid there won't be any UK to go back to. I haven't visited for a while, and if I do, I've got a very good chance of being probably picked up at the airport. I'm not bothered about that at all. I believe in what I've said, and I believe that what I've said is valid. I think it's time for a change, and I think that Nigel Farage may not be the right guy. What I do believe is that Advantage UK is the right team, the right people, and the right attitude, and I think this is the right time. Everybody needs to rethink what's happening. We need new education system. We need to disband the National Health Service completely. At the same time, the EU is going to be disbanded. I wonder what those thousands of people all on 10,000 euros a month salaries, and they are thousands of them, every month, unelected, what do they do? Does anybody know what these fucking people do? And that Ursula von der Leyen, she is basically a blonde Nazi hobbit. She is horrible. She is corrupt. And the fact Germany, my friends, schnell, Kinder, let's go. I think you need to think twice about sending any money to Ukraine. You know, it's just basically sending money to the mafia. And I'm not just talking about the golden toilet. That's a joke. If they hadn't blown and wasted all the money they'd already been sent, they'd have already won this fucking war. But the little Zelensky in his little boost seat in the back of his Range Rover, you know, he's obviously chucked billions away, or he's got stashed billions. He doesn't need more money. He needs to have a strategy and negotiate. Putin is going to probably win this war, and which way he has actually fucked it for himself, Zelensky. He's actually, you know, blown it for himself. And in the face of all the generosity and kindness and all the applauses he's been given, I think quite honestly it's going to be game over for the Ukrainians. They need to decide, like the Brits do, and take control and say, get out, we need leadership, we need a deal, you need to stop this. Millions of people are now dying, and you know, your farmlands are going to be fucking nothing. They're already getting blown to smithereens as it is. The only fertiliser is going to be the dead bodies, unfortunately, and it's absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. We're looking at World War II numbers now. So all I can say, guys, is that, you know, it takes a bit of common sense, and there's going to be some pain before this all gets changed. You know, the UK, for example, is a country I love dearly. I'm heartbroken. I'm in tears. I am in tears watching what is on the TV sometimes, and frustration is unbelievable. Yeah, I'm a generation behind this new lot, but I'm still fit and able, and I wish I could come over there and batter some people, because quite honestly, that's what's going to have to happen. I'm afraid to say this. I am literally afraid to say it's going to have to be bullets and blood, because this is not going to happen. When you've got people doing this on TV and this to the people that gave them homes and money, those people need to go. And my suggestion would be cattle trucks and shipping containers. Think about that. Maybe the farmers can help us with that, but it's time for change. It's a new day now, and we're not putting up with your shit anymore. It's time for you to go. Islam, you're a fucking horrible cult-like organisation, if you can call it. You're just a bunch of scum, and you don't belong with us. We need to get rid of you. Then we need to deal with our government, and the Mussolini treatment would be ideal for the likes of the last 40 years of politicians. There are very, very few exceptions to how many people would be exempted from punishment. From Blair all the way through to now, Conservative and Labour, I think there's probably 6 people that could be exempted. I'll tell you one person I really like right now, Liz Truss. She's got her own show now, Liz Truss Show I think it's called. Rupert Lowe I really like. There's a couple of others I really like, and obviously Tommy Robinson's just legend. You know, pull it together, guys. Come on, because we're running out of time really fast. All right. Peace to everyone in the UK. Merry Christmas. And don't let anyone take the wreath off your door. The only wreaths we'll want to see laid are those for our fallen soldiers. Amen.